Mario Kart World is almost upon us. We will be playing it very soon. I will be playing it very soon, and I am very, very excited to play it, which, as always, I have to mention, that's a new thing for me. Them being like, here's a Mario Kart, and me being like, oh man, I just absolutely can't wait. That is a brand new event for me. So I would like to take this one final opportunity to just kind of go over some of my hopes and dreams for the game. Let's hit the biggest ones first, because really, like, what am I into with this Mario Kart? Like, why is this Mario Kart the one that I super want to play? It's the world. It's the big, huge open world. I am completely fascinated by the idea of taking these tracks and changing the way that they work so that you can view them from every angle and connecting them together. I can't wait to see how they did it, how they made all of this seamless. I just can't wait to play around in it. And so, yeah, naturally I've got some hopes there. First, I really want it to feel big, you know? And like, it seems like it probably will feel pretty big just based on the footage that it's like the amount of time it takes them to get from one track to another. And then, like, I don't know, part of me is like, well, maybe it'll go kind of fast if you go one end to the other, but then you have to consider the entire, 2 dimensions of the space. You go in a straight line, but then you have that much to go in the other directions as well. Whatever. I want it to feel like a lot to enjoy and a lot to explore. I really don't want to just like sit down with it for a couple hours and kind of feel like I saw everything. I want it to be like, nah, like there's enough to see that it's going to take a while. And I suppose I also just want it to be interesting enough, just filled with enough fun little things that things that capture your attention and things that do make you kind of slow down or even stop completely and just kind of look at them. Maybe there'll even be just little things to play with that are not necessarily track or racing related, but just, I don't know. Maybe I'm hoping for too much. Maybe nothing they give me will end up being enough. I want it to be, like, I know it's not going to be like Breath of the Wild. I know it's not going to be quite like that. It's Mario Kart. The point is to go fast. You're going to be able to go from one side to the other. It's not going to take hours and hours or anything. I don't know. I just want it to feel like kind of a big experience, kind of like I'm just so into the idea of a Mario Kart world where you are exploring it and you're just taking it in that very raw video gamey kind of way. Yeah, I'm not just like jumping on a track and doing a race. I'm like somewhere, and I love all the focus they've put on all the multiplayer. Really just just focusing on the idea of just being there, just being in the place. That's such a crazy new thing for the series. I'm super duper into it. So yeah, basically, I hope the world feels big. I hope there's a lot to explore. And then, as I've already talked about a lot, I really just want there to be a lot to do when you're out there in terms of the more like actual tangible video gamey stuff. And again, in the direct, they revealed that there's going to be like switches to hit and various little collectibles to get. I guess it's just another thing where it's hard to get an accurate picture of like how far this thing goes, how much do they utilize it and lean into the idea. Hard to get an idea just based on the footage that we've seen from the direct and whatnot. I just want them to do a lot with it in the same way that I hope there's a lot of world to explore in just like just looking around and just cool visuals to look at and the vibe. I just hope there's also a lot of stuff to just do, a reason to explore, because then it's doubly satisfying, enjoying exploring a place just because it looks cool and you like to be in it. But then there's also just like a lot of stuff to find along the way, especially in a game like this. I really could see a lot of really hidden secrets and yeah, there's another thing, secrets, stuff that like really is hidden. You really got to go off the beaten path and kind of snoop around for it. I would love that kind of stuff, even if it is just like worthless collectibles. They don't like do anything. Just something to do. Even though I will admit I'm a little bit torn, because the more stuff you put in the world, the more like gamey it feels. And what if you do just want to kind of cruise around and look at stuff if it's all covered with with special coins and switches and stuff, then it's gonna kind of take away that feel. I don't know, I would love like an option to just toggle the stuff on and off, you know, like if you're in free explore mode, can you just like, can I just go like pure free explore mode where it's just, there's none of that. There's no gamey stuff whatsoever. It's just driving around. I don't know. Yeah, maybe that is asking too much. Whatever the case though, just give me stuff to do. They went on and on about how like you've got the tracks and that's already big, but then like the places between the tracks, those are like tracks too. And overall, it's almost like the game has over 100 tracks. So it's like, give us stuff to do on those tracks. I want real hours of playtime, you know, because I'm never going to be into, especially competitive multiplayer. I'm never going to play enough of this game to get good enough at it to do really well in races. And I'm just not really interested in that, you know, that's why I've never really been a Mario Kart guy. I'm not that interested in just doing races over and over again. So like, it would be really nice if this open world concept gave me some hours, you know, just like gave me a reason to sit down with the game, maybe a bunch of times to like dig into this rather than just kind of like a little novelty or something that mostly just kind of feeds into the main gameplay, just kind of feeds into the feel of the game, how the tracks are connected. Like I want the open world idea to basically be its own game, even if it's not like a campaign mode, you know, you got like story and bosses or whatever. It's not full on Diddy Kong racing, but still something that like, even if in theory, I never wanted to play multiplayer, I never wanted to play competitive races with people, what if there was still enough there for me to just be like, yeah, I absolutely got enough out of this game? I mean, that would be saying a lot considering the price. So I don't know. It would also be really nice if they gave us a lot of options for like how to use this world. You know, like I know you can like select a few different courses and kind of make your own little circuit. I would really like a lot of flexibility there. I think it would be really cool if we could essentially create any kind of circuit we wanted, maybe even like any, because if you're just playing multiplayer with your friends, it's not online or anything, there's really no downside to just letting us do whatever we want. So I think it would be cool if we could essentially just like select any area of the map, any number of courses, or even the places between the courses. You know, that little ridge between this place and that place? I think that's really cool. Like, can we have an actual option to like turn that into a track and like, so you can have your friends and turn it into a real race. And that's the thing with the open world, is really you can do anything with it that you want. You don't necessarily need the game to like allow you to do it. For instance, another one I'm about to talk about is battle mode. What I loved about the N64 one was that you had these big arenas and there was no time limit. So like we would just chase each other around trying to get that last balloon, you know, you turn into a little bob-omb and you're just trying to hit each other just for hours. And it was so much fun. And I know it's probably silly trying to recapture that magic that I had when I was 10, you know, it's probably not possible. I probably don't even want it as much as I think that I do. But the point is, if we have this big open world now and we can kind of do whatever we want within it, the battle mode itself does seem to be really, really basic, and that's pretty disappointing. Again, we'll talk about that more in a second. But like, look at this big open world. What if we could just have balloons? You know, don't even make it a whole mode. Don't even like give it a time limit or anything. What if we could just have that option to turn the entire world into a big battle mode stage? And so we can just chase each other with balloons. I don't know, just even little options to take the world that they've given us and kind of package them and package it all in different ways. I would really, really appreciate that. Maybe it's not necessary. Maybe it's more work than they would need to. Maybe you can still like play tag with each other. You don't need the game to understand that that's what you're doing. You can just chase each other and just pretend there's a balloon. I don't know. But yeah, I like options. I like flexibility. And on that note, overall, I mean, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was great, but just like, man, you only have to sit down for like one single multiplayer match to be like, hey, can we do this? Oh, no. Oh, how about this? Oh, no. Oh, wait, you have to do, oh, you only can do it this way or that way? That's disappointing. Like, it's just like no options for anything. So, just like I mean, maybe a lot of this has been already revealed. I haven't been really digging into all the footage, sorry. But like overall, across the board, options. The more options you can give us, the better, especially for this game. Again, the open world, especially because of how open and cool this world is. Like, let us use it. Let us be able to do whatever we want with our own personal, especially like local multiplayer matches. I mean, like even online too, of course. Like there's a really big online component this time. You've got game chat and all that. So like, give us every reason to play as much of this game multiplayer as possible. This game is about flexibility in the traversal, so like let that flexibility spill over into all the options and whatnot. But yeah, let's get to the battle mode. I don't have a lot of like really specific hopes for the battle mode. Really, my whole entire thing, again, since the N64, trying to capture that childhood, silly, up all night eating pizza magic that is just the single best time I've ever had in my entire life. Nothing's ever beaten that. I just don't want it to have a time limit anymore. Really, if you could boil everything down to just one thing that has made me like not even really touch the battle modes in any of the modern games, is just like, it's just, okay, well, like we've got a couple minutes and that's it. And you don't get that silly, like, oh man, like I'm the Bob-omb and I'm chasing them. I'm chasing and chasing and chasing. It's totally stupid. Online, I get it. Obviously, you want the match to end. But again, it's just options. When I'm playing with my friends, there's literally no reason at all that we have to have a time limit. Like, let us disable that. Beyond that, like, I don't have a lot of specifics of like what I want battle mode to be. I just know that I am frustrated that Nintendo doesn't seem to care about it. Because nothing was better than that battle mode. That is the single most fun I've ever had with Mario Kart overall. And I think a battle mode has a lot of potential, and yet they consistently treat it like it's an afterthought. Like it's just a little like whatever kind of tacked on thing. And I don't know, maybe that's by choice. They're like, it's Mario Kart, you're racing. We want racing to be the main thing, and battle mode is more like a mini game or something. I don't know. I want to see them do more with it, even if it does come in updates, even if it is DLC. Because everything we've seen so far, it does seem very plain. Just want more options for that. More, I mean, in other like multiplayer modes would be kind of cool too. Sort of. I know 8 Deluxe had an okay amount. One you're like collecting coins or whatever. I don't know. They're the cops and robbers or whatever it is. They're okay. I don't know. Ultimately, I feel like nothing's better than just like, we all got 3 balloons and let's go. And I feel like there's so much you could do there, especially with this big open world, big open spaces. I think that the potential is humongous to turn battle mode into something really special with Mario Kart World. And I just want to see Nintendo explore that. Next, I am very excited about all of the new movement tech, you call it that, you know, all the jumping and grinding and wall riding and all that. I'm really excited about that because it just looks like a lot more to just do. You know, it's kind of like drifting and drift boosting and like doing tricks off of jumps. It's just something to do while you're driving. It's a little bit of an extra something to give you extra boost. It just feels good. You know, each time you do it, each time you pull off a little trick and get a little boost, it's a little pinch of dopamine. You're just like, yes, I'm going faster. I'm doing better. But there's almost like a part of me that's very slightly intimidated by it. That like, am I gonna get tired of this? You know, is it almost too much? Or could I say, what if I'm not as interested in engaging with it as I think I'm gonna be? Because I already have a problem with multiplayer games. I'm not gonna play them enough to get good enough to really compete. So I have this like slight worry that like that stuff is gonna matter so much that it's gonna become like the new like drift boosting, how it originally was, how it was just like you go left and right on the stick or the D-pad. And so like snaking was like the only way to win. You know, I'm sure I've told this story a million times, but like they make the Wi-Fi thing at McDonald's and I take my DS because like you could play Mario Kart DS online at McDonald's, and I go and I play like 2 matches and everybody just snakes their way past me and and I never see them again. And it was just like, okay, well I can't play this anymore competitively. Because I don't want to do that. That's not fun. So, like, I'm almost worried that this is going to be the new snaking, where it's like, you got to be tricking like crazy to get anywhere. I don't know. So I don't even know exactly how am I wording the hope here? I guess I just hope that it's like a really fun option, but not completely necessary to a point where it creates a really, really big divide between players. It comes down to the people who really do want to utilize all this and the people who kind of don't. I don't know. But at the same time, I will be contradictory and say that I also hope that this new movement system is so cool and so flexible that people learn how to use it really well. I want to see, YouTube videos of people tricking in crazy ways, just getting up on places and up on ledges and whatnot that like they're totally not supposed to. I want people to use this to surprise the developers. That's really the ultimate goal with this kind of stuff. Make a system and then give it to the people, and then they surprise you with how amazingly they use it. I like that. Next, we can touch on post-launch content. The game's got a lot of characters already. Like, it's one of its things, it's kind of one of its gimmicks. It's just like, there's so many different characters. So I don't really know what Nintendo's plan is for like characters. Are they gonna do the Mario Sports thing and we get free updates? Is that even necessary? I don't know. But if it is gonna get new characters, Mario Kart 8 introduced the idea of these like little guest characters, and technically you could say DS, because Rob isn't necessarily a Mario character. Whatever. For the most part, Mario Kart 8 had these DLC characters. They were non-Mario characters. You had Link and Animal Crossing characters and whatnot. I love that idea. And I know that maybe Nintendo will never do a full-blown Smash Kart or whatever. They may want to always keep it Mario branding. But if they never want to like go all the way that way, I don't know, it may be inevitable if you run out of ideas. But whatever. I like just some. Some is fun, like we can play as Link in Mario Kart 8. Like that's really cool. So I just want more Nintendo crossover characters, even if it is just a handful. I just think the idea is too much fun. I like the idea of Samus driving around this big open world. I like that idea too much. So give us a few. I don't know if that's the kind of thing they'd probably want to charge for. We'll see. The whole concept of DLC for this game is weird, because originally it was just tracks. It was just tracks and racers. Okay, here's a new racer. Here's Link, and he comes with a new track. You can race around like Hyrule Castle. Cool. How do you do that here? How do you okay, so it's an open world game. What do other open world games do? Generally, the DLC will be like a new area or something, it'll be like, oh, the island, it unlocks the island over here. And then you get like kind of a smaller version of the greater game. You get like an area to explore. It's not as big, but it's still pretty good. Do you do that here? Do you just like, there's a bridge to an island and that's it? Or like a thing in the sky? I don't really know how they're going to handle DLC, really. But I will say, even separately from like the character part, like as far as like new tracks go, I hope that whatever they do with the DLC, I hope it's different. I hope it's new. Mario Kart World itself is already something very new, and so I think it would be fun to do something even more new with the DLC. Maybe it is like a new area. Yeah, you drive over the ocean or whatever. But then like you do something new with that. You create a new kind of experience. It's not just another place to explore with a handful of tracks. Maybe you do introduce some kind of like campaign or campaign-like thing, especially if that then applied to the whole main game, you take what you have and you recontextualize it. You create some sort of new game mode that we just never would have expected, and yet it really makes all the sense in the world. And I know it's always very easy to just say, I hope they do something totally new. I'm not proposing any suggestions at all, because I can't think of anything, but I hope they just surprise me with some magical new concept I've never considered. But I mean, I don't know. Nintendo does that a lot, so yeah, I can hope for that. Absolutely. And I assume that would be paid DLC in terms of just like regular post-launch content, like free stuff. I think the game looks really cool, and I think it looks really big, and based on the developer stuff they've been revealing, it does look really big. They really did spend a lot of time on this game, and probably a lot of money. It is kind of a technical marvel, or at least a developmental design marvel, probably more so than most people realize. And yet I can't help but feel like they could do more with it. I mean, it's kind of been a running theme with this video, isn't it? It's just like, you've got this big open world. It took so much effort to get here. It took so much to create this thing. So use it. Don't give us just a couple, like, oh, there's Grand Prix and there's this and there's that, and that's it. And, you know, there's a basic battle mode, and that's it. It's, I don't know, like, you've got a real opportunity here. Take what you have and run with it. Give us new modes. Give us a bunch of new modes. I know that with an online game, the more modes you introduce, at least to the online, then you're kind of like splitting up the player base. But it's also Mario Kart, and it's going to sell 100 million copies, so, like, I don't know. Maybe they could afford to create some new modes. I just want to see them do more with it. I don't want it to just be regular old Mario Kart, but there's also a big open world, and that's it. Keep evolving the game. Keep adding stuff to it. Take those basic modes and, like, I don't know, like, go deeper with them. Give us some like, this is a new experience, but I don't know, maybe I'm just greedy. I just want even more newest experiences. I don't know. So that's basically it. That's pretty much all the stuff that I'm hoping for Mario Kart World. I am excited to play it. I think pretty much no matter what, based on what I've seen, I'm gonna have fun with it. At the very least, I'm gonna explore that open world, and I think that's gonna be a lot of fun. And you know what? Because they spent so much time on it, I do see them evolving it. I don't know how much it's going to be, like free updates versus paid content. I know if it's all paid, people are going to get pretty mad. It would be nice if Nintendo, you know, we're making an investment here, so give us some free stuff down the line. I don't know how it's going to go, but I see it. I could see them doing more with it, just spending a little bit of time with it to create. I mean, 8 Deluxe ended up getting so much DLC, so like, why not? You know, the install base is going to be huge. There's going to be so many people who bought it, so any amount of DLC for any amount of money is going to do really well. So yeah, it's almost here. It is almost here.